a self-empowered woman, we will know a true life partner in love from within here, and we move on from mismatches. There's no drama. Now, let me explain though. What does this mean? It means that I'm an inner child that lives, and that means I have no trauma charges lingering. I had trauma charges like anybody else. We all have child parts. I didn't need any therapy because I got a child-centric environment and I have a twin. And so I didn't get defective when I got compared. I got told different doesn't mean better or worse. Ergo, no shame. Whole 3-year-old heart. Very easy to be myself, and that's why I'm also a 5D mystic and not a 4D one. And the 4D think they have a cross to bear, that they're saving somebody, and that's very disrespectful. And I noticed that they're blamers, and then they turn into victims. And that basically looks like this. The squirrel of Cusco, yes. They will say, one moment I am going to be my light self, and then, oh, now I'm doing my shadow work. And it's like, wow, shadow work. That's how you're going to make it into a thing that you get reactive and project low self-esteem, indirect communication. Passive aggressive, you don't know boundaries because canceling is not actually healthy conversation, because that's what boundaries is about, talking. But that's from functional adults. So self-empowered women, we don't get chaotic or rigid. Rigid is when you shut somebody out, which is what an avoidant will do, and a 5D mystic will notice. The ambivalent, they will get chaotic, which is a hyped up nervous system, consistently, frantically, basically like worried energy. And I know all about worried energy because my flight is the #1 go-to, fear. Okay, so I know all about getting worried again. But I got to learn, thank you mother, how to not get worried, because she gave me a child-centric environment. Stop being the mother of other people. Stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing that. And then it recalibrated very easily. So yeah, 5D mystic, we don't go around saying I'm anointed and I have some cross to bear. Because one, it's again disrespectful. Thank you Jesus, I learned all about the story and about human suffering. And in fact, here's why we move on from mismatch, no drama, because we also learn, blessed are those who believe without seeing, forgive them for they do not know. And yes, any person who has maladaptive child behavior like the 4D who are on Elsa's journey, they don't know that they're in pseudo-aliveness. And in fact, even when you try to explain to them structural dissociation as they're going through it, because you're actively being involved in something that is dramatic, and in something that basically, if you get lucky, I don't know if they're lucky, you know, the fact that you actually don't recognize that if you can't work with your left mode and with what comes up, good therapy, not because anybody is fucked up. No, nobody's fucked up. And seeing people who have attachment wounds say that I'm just going to stop journaling and doing mindfulness and meditation because I'm doing a great job and humans are fucked up, sounds like, again, a teenage sentence of, I'm on Elsa's journey and I'm going to live the high risk threat mode. Let me out, because that's exactly what happens when you don't take what comes up and say, let me see, I'm upset. Let me deal with unknowns, uncertainties, and unwanteds from my prefrontal cortex, the inner growth mindset, the main modules. Oh, and the right mode of your brain is what allows you to sit with disparate ideas. Left mode wants to break things down, right and wrong, where you shut it up for a minute and you have them collaborate, and look, it's like a little seesaw. And so once you get integrated in the brain, so here, my 5D mystics, come on over, because we don't do what 4D does. Nobody's an energy vampire. There's no drama with twin flames. This is all people who don't have their inner child leading the way. They in fact don't know how to speak, because they're talking about human beings. They're talking about the divine masculines as lesser. This is very disrespectful as well, which is why when I began to hear how they were transforming something that is a relationship into this little competition, I'm like, what are you doing? You all now sound like you're comparing yourselves, and the divine feminine seems to be the one who knows shit and they don't. You're actually coming into the, I'm going to tell another human being how to live life. Oh, look, martyrs and superiors. Oh, what do we got? Blamers and martyrs and superiors. We got insecure women and men, because the divine feminines aren't only women, but we got both. When you go and meet those people with the twin flame coach stuff, yeah, it's not a 5D mystic. It's a 4D person on Elsa's journey. Everybody chooses. This is not a competition, but you better bet you don't have alignment And if you did, you would know about EMDR, child parts work, and about somatics, because you'd be somebody who knows every human being is a miracle. Every person, thank you Sadhguru, is contributing to the world. How you live, how joyful you are, everything has an impact. But if you don't know how to handle what comes up, because you don't have integration of the brain, and so you don't have a friendly divine feminine, divine masculine, then you need good therapy. And thank you Patrick Tiahan for existing, because as he points out, childhood trauma therapist, you're not going to with Reiki, and I'm a Reiki practitioner. I also do Akashic record readings. I do tarot card readings. I am a holistic, and I do self-help, personal development for people who are serious, obviously, and then here's all food for thought. And so as he points out, and I've shared with him, I totally agree, anything from our, it's not magical, but we can do that. The magical plane is not going to heal your inner child away, because you need to reparent. Let me out, as every time you see somebody on Elsa's journey or doing Pinocchio, let's go drink tonight. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go fuck tonight and drink. Oh, you know what? I'm going to add some drugs to the mix. Oh, look, that movie makes it look cool to eat Ben and Jerry's after I've had a breakup. Oh, look, let me ruminate some more. Okay, that's not empowerment. Nope. That's actually drama, unnecessary, might I add. Nobody's addicted, but then again, wait, that's right. Where is my notes? I'm attachment trauma informed. Did I mention that? I love my courses. They help me know how to explain to you, thank you Daniel Siegel, first of all, why I don't have drama. And my teenage friend said I was emotionless and rational. I was like, no, I'm just not a drama queen, that's all. Now I know how to say, my 16-year-old isn't leading my way. Nor is my 1-year-old. I'm leading the way, and they're all sleeping and having a good time. When they come up, I know with my tone. I know right here. So integration of the brain means your left and right work together. My default mode network is down-regulated. When I see you, if you have no weapon, I'm in my prefrontal cortex. I'm consciousness. In fact, I've always been consciousness. That's why we have episodes of I am presence. When you don't lose presence, lo and behold, let's get some props. I love my props. Okay, so shame, by the way, won't come indirectly. Yes, the teenager attitude, I'm going to just spite you, because their 0-1-year-old is actually spiting their own home, but they're going to take it out on the securely attached person, because here's what a sorcerer, who's also an ancient one, does. We know about the 0-1-year-old and the 3 to 7, because my subconscious ain't no laundry. I know when my emotions come up, and I know if I'm projecting, because I know how to hear myself when somebody says, you're getting upset. And unlike others who say, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, I'll be like, wait a minute, am I getting upset? That's called self-reflection. Yeah, I'm getting upset. Okay, should I do the, you know what? Nope. Okay, you're right. I'm not going to get upset. And that's what I got to learn from all of the unkind teenagers, not to take it personally. All of them who lied, they all are cowardice, not emotional lifters. And still you got grown-ups who do the, I'm not going to emotionally lift. You need to be a perfect person. No, I'm not perfect. And then when they get really pissed, are you Miss Perfect? Not really. But then again, I am for myself, that's for sure. And for any empowered man, not FYI, and empowered women. The ones who are not, they don't bring drama my way, because they know that I'm not going to take their side. They learn how to accept it, because I say, you know, I follow Jesus, right? You know what he says? You know what forgiveness actually means? Because I think you don't. The minute you're insulting somebody, I learned how to say this because people kept coming to me, women, men, with their drama shit, and I'm like, I am completely off-put by this. I have no interest in it. 1, 2, you're sounding more and more like a broken record. 3, really, like, just the matter of not taking the opportunity to expand your consciousness. No, Maria, but humans suck, men suck, life sucks, women suck. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, so that's how it feels for a self-empowered woman that knows what true life is all about. You making a pity party over one human being is going to seriously just, you don't know what life is. Okay, so these are beautiful. This is the tree of life. And 4D likes to get lost in the stories. I'm going to simplify this. Let me see. There is something that caught my attention, but I need to find it first, because it talked about the self, and I'm like, I know all about the self. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. I know all about when your self is a whole self like mine right now. So there you go. Your 1-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, all of it. And there's I am presence. This is why it's very easy to vibe in enlightenment. It's called Let Me Learn How to Use My Throat. Let me learn how to use my left and right. And oh, look, I don't know everything. Oh, look, I have secondary consciousness. Oh, look, I'm going to die one day. Yep, I faced that one when I was a kid. So I got lucky. Thank you, Marcus Aurelius, because he's the one who said, Maria, why are you going to worry about this and live a life that makes a difference? And I said, you know what, he's right. I'm not going to use my mind for that. I can't do anything about it. Like when somebody that you think is the one, this is why the twin flame thing is hilarious, doesn't want you, you move beyond the one. Polyamory, it's really fun. And that's because we don't say we love you and we don't mean it. We also don't back off because you become what? What? How are you problematic? I don't understand. So some people don't know what it means to love, and that's exactly why we don't make it into drama. We're not going to be sitting, dying, giving up life because some human being decides that they're not a match. Like, really? Again, no shame here. Let me spell it out, which is why we don't need somebody telling us, it's not your fault. Remember, yeah, no, I got told it's not my fault when I was a kid. Again, I'm a twin, so I've been consistently compared in a way that's neutral. And I obviously am not finding what I'm looking for because maybe it's not important. Let's see. Give me a minute just to focus because I saw it somewhere and now I can't. Now I don't see it anymore. When you're not finding what you're looking for. You know what's funny is that sometimes, actually not just sometimes, all the time, a divine feminine knows exactly what's in front of her. And then we also know what we don't know. And you know what's even more hilarious is that we don't need people to remind us of there's this quote, it's a Buddha quote, something about if you look up in the sky and you smile, I forget it, and then there's somebody who said also it's not a Buddha quote, that somebody said it's Buddha, but it's not Buddha. But if only you could look up in the sky and laugh and smile. But okay, whatever, I'm not finding my lovely viewers right now, so we're going to leave it alone. But there was somewhere that I saw it mentioned self, which is why I wanted to point it out. Here we go. See, I found it. Yay! The whole person right here. See, it was right in front of me. Okay, so the self. And then it has spiritual love, awareness, spiritual will, purpose, and they put spirit and transpersonal. Then they got the soul with will and love, and the I center, thoughts, personality, feelings, and then the subconscious sex. I don't know why they put it there because honestly the subconscious is not only about sex but maybe talking about, you know, the inner child, because the gut is important. So I'm going to say the gut, not sex necessarily, and body sensations at the feet. And long story short though, all of this, when you meet an esoteric person, they're just going to go off and off and off on a story. Here's what I'm going to share with you. The self is, use your name, I'm using mine. Okay, so self-empowered woman is a whole inner child, and that's why we stay aligned with our chakra system. So we don't need to find our soul back or some mission, which is also why twin flame don't bring your mission out of you. You are you unless you're not you. But what it does do is help people to, if they do want to, obviously. Here's the part, they're on tragedy journey, so Elsa's doing most of the work for them. They're not noticing they're a human baby, they're thinking they're an anointed baby, which then allows them not to actually tap into something even more amazing, which is, let's read this one for you all. I'm mixing and matching. Okay, the council. Okay, so this is the book, in case you're curious. The council are the luminous beings who hold the collective wisdom of humanity. They are the ones before whom you will do your life review when you cross into the world of spirit. And 4D, 3D, people who are not in the 5D collective seem to be a lot more interested in when they're not going to be here versus living life here, but that's because their inner child is not accepted by them. So your maladaptive child behavior is always going to be, you know, in a teenager-like attitude, which is the survival mode, which is why high risk and pseudo-aliveness and doing else's journey, and this is the whole doer and not being, but it's really simplified. It is from within you that you find a sense of ease, and people don't know enough about the recent, it's been like, what, about 10 years, I'm going to say, that there's been enough information online. We get to create conversation. That's what's not happening. We have people not creating the conversation. Okay, so for a self-empowered woman, we will not be telling anybody what they should do with their life. I wanted you to really see it, but it's not going to allow me. Okay, bear with me. There's the light coming in. A life review is when we place our good and our bad deeds on a divine scale and attempt to explain why we did not love or forgive or dare as greatly as we might have. Okay, so there's one thing an inner child will never ever do. We will never not dare. I have none of this. I have none of the good or bad deeds that I have not evaluated. The only time that I've ever had any of what I was trying to get out of my mouth is the whole one, good and bad deeds. You know, if you're grown up and you have understood that life is gray, thank you to the philosophers and academics and subject matter experts having debates and conversations, really, I should say, about really, should we be doing the whole humans are inherently good or evil? No, that's the point. They're not. Any evil person needs a good therapist. When you look at the scale of Michael Stone, a forensic criminologist. But going back to when you own your inner child, and so you don't have trauma charges that are lingering, because you allow yourself to take, oh, emotions are here, oh, thoughts are here, and you have inner growth, and you expand consciousness. That's why you're a constant I'm presence. So for me, I look to my past, my life review. I have nothing to say. I'm not perfect. That part I already knew about. And we all make decisions depending on the age you are. So as an adolescent, I didn't expect myself to make decisions like a grown-up, which is why my short-lived, let me disregard my own inner compass, was something I consciously chose, and the grown-ups talked about it. Didn't take away from the lovely abundance of life. In fact, to this day, life always brings us what we are desiring. So when a mismatch comes around, it's not dramatic. You don't get discarded. True life partnership is from within here. And so you're not intimate with me if I don't know your inner child. It's going to be straightforward. So if you're an emotionally unavailable human being, I'm going to know, because you're going to walk a line that is going to be crooked. You're going to look like Pinocchio's. And you're going to look like a Pinocchio with an ear and a tail who's still on the island thinking fucking, drinking, drugging, and doing any high risk whatever and doing drama. This is not a competition. In fact, it's actually quite straightforward. Nobody's an energy vampire, dark aura, by the way, and that's why 4D with their saga has completely not understood what the self and a journey to yourself is all about. And what I mean by that is they didn't simplify it, because simple means boring, as they want pseudo-liveness. This is the adventure of Elsa. You have a mission. Your twin flame showed you your mission. The first mission is becoming a decent human being, which means you don't have envy, jealousy, or spite, because those emotions exist because they're low self-esteem. Because I heard also there is stuff that took place. There's ways I can explain it. I'm not going to do it in this episode, but loving from within is because you have a secure attachment, 0-1-year-old. So when you look at life, and you look to the past, a person that has consistently been in heart body, value body, energy body, mental body, physical body, this is Purusha, pure consciousness. You learn it from yoga. I learned it on my own. I'm sharing it with you, but it's because I have secure attachment. Thank you, twin. Thank you, mom. Thank you, household. It's all. I'm a decent human being. I was grown to be a decent human being, and empowered women don't have anything that is. Men are imperfect. We're all imperfect. That's the whole point. Who's casting that stone, might I again ask? And with all the attachment and trauma information, what makes me even more aware of people not knowing what they're talking about is when they go around saying, I stand up for people's rights, and then you're yelling. And in your sympathetic nervous system, you think you're creating a safe environment versus recognizing the disorganized attachment environment you're creating. Because you're not making it safe for everyone to share. You're also projecting what is your trauma charges and your modality. So this infinite cycle of shame is because people don't know that shame is here. And if you don't get your 0-1-year-old and 3-year-old in check, and then you get it to say, okay, it's not just in check, because control is like a little soldier. That's going to be a piece of rock. You're going to want to soften it. That's when you do your own life review with a good therapist, though, and you say, oh, wait, did I have childhood trauma? Did I have attachment wounds? Okay, now this is starting to make sense, because that's what it shares with you. It shares that you will either know how to be a life partner because you know how to be a piece of life. Your inner child, you are a human. And thank you, Sadhguru. A human being is not a resource. A human being is a tremendous possibility. With the right nurturing, they will blossom into someone remarkable. And that's with the right home, the secure attachment home. The life within you is not there to serve your body, mind, or emotion. The body, mind, and emotion are there to serve your life, or serve life. The life that is within you, the self, is your inner child. So this thing about when you got spiritual bypassers, the 4D readers, and anybody who's just interpreting to you, spirit, 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 you're forgetting that you're a person. And here's where I'm the human translator. Human, spiritual, and spirituality elements. That's why I'm pseudoscience lady. I love being a mystic. I love everything about my oversoul. And you know what I love even more? Life has never, ever disappointed me. Not even once. Nope. So I look to my review and I say, yes, yes, I'll do it again. The panic attacks are the only thing that I'm like, that, the only challenge. The only actual challenge. But when you understand you're expanding a window of welcome, you're like, okay, I got it. Thanks, nervous system. Thanks, panic attacks. You make me know how to work my nervous system. But relationships, you either love me like I am and I'm going to love you like you are, and that's it. So no drama if it's a mismatch. It's okay. I know I'm going to be able to move forward because I'm breathing, and I love breathing, and I'm alive today, and I give it meaning. And then I have all these other people around me, by the way. The fact that human beings, men, women, and theys alike, don't have their 0-1-year-olds. So here's what a solo polyamory woman can let you all know. That love is from within me, and it's not for a high-risk, fucking situation. So when I look at men in the past, if you're not emotionally available, you haven't dared not even 1 inch of your life yet, because you don't know what it is to be vulnerable. I feel bad for the inner child of you, and I feel bad for every single time that you suppress, because whenever you're having a relationship, if you don't know how to love yet, you're going to say nope, and you reject it, and you reject it, and you reject it, and the ones who end up together, thank goodness they have therapists that can help them, and then there's the ones who organically do that. And so yeah, we always love, we always forgive, and we always dare greatly. The ones of us who don't lose our inner child, because that's exactly the point. Pure consciousness, it's called Purusha, unconditional love, and pure energy, Prakriti, it's your 3-year-old. So the good and bad deeds, we all know we're imperfect and flawed. Unconditionally loving oneself is very easy when you have the right environment. I was nurtured well, thank you mom, and I have a twin. So when there's a mismatch, like my twin and I always fighting, no drama. Always somebody trying to come in the middle. So I got lucky, and I get to be here and share with you the true life partner is a whole inner child. There's the one moment of emotional maturity. Come on over and join us, because we get to talk about 5D relationships. We get to talk about empowered women, but also about, how next we're going to be talking about at least 2 or 3 more topics if I have the time. So in the meantime, subscribe if you enjoyed, and we have Ask Maria, opinionated columnist on the audio. I always like to do the back. And this is how I conduct it. It's very informal, food for thought. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm not one that cares about those of you who only see the external. No, I care about all people, but a person who's only looking at the external means they're looking at what's fancy. It means you don't know your inner world yet. It means I don't need to really do much, because you're already chit-chatting in your brain, and it's not meant to sound like a stereotype, although that's what it's sounding like. But I have met a lot of trenders. Yes, the also journey people. So I know what I know, and it's not a race. You get to choose how deeply you want to feel. I love life, and I love the depth of emotions. And when I see somebody say, I don't want to do personal development, life sucks, let me think about that. I'm saying you're going to be a human suffering love narrative. Great for you. Thanks for coming by. I'm so sorry. And I hope that you find what you're looking for, but I already know you won't, because, oh wait, what is it? It's not enough to ask people about a positive experience, but it's also about savoring that experience and getting them to stay with it. Thank you, Bill O'Hanlon, LMFT. You know how many people I've tried to say that to? Oh, not just the romantic people. No. I'm saying just in general. The romantic people, like I said, I'll know if you're a life partner. It means your inner child's with me. I'm having fun with you always, not just sometimes. If I'm sometimes, then now I know, okay, you're walking a crooked line. You're not going to be a match for me, because you can't keep up. Because I'm keeping on loving more. And yeah, we'll be back with more. Have a great one.